Hey, Susie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, I'm plugging my mic in 1 second, and I'm gonna mute you guys. Mute, 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 mute. Okay, and plugging in. Hopefully this is freaking clicking. Hey, I think we're ready to do this. Thank you for being here. I was just saying, I love seeing like different faces because regularly people have to work and they get work off. So here you are. I love it. This is what you're choosing to do. I'm just trying to think announcements. There's a different schedule for New Year's. However, I'm not super sure what it is, so I don't want to say too much. I know that Akasha Kirti, our Kundalini teacher, has a special event New Year's Eve. I think it's at 7:30. It might be 7:30 to 10:30. Like it's a whole big thing. So if you're interested in that, there's information. There's a flyer on the desk. And then New Year's Day, I know that, so it's Monday. Scott Moore is teaching his class in the morning. I think, as far as I know, James is teaching his 4:30 class. But I might be wrong about that, so double check. And honestly, the best person to ask would be James if you know how to contact him. But I say I because it's my responsibility, but I should be able to put it on the Instagram and have the Instagram updated, like with the right schedule, like by this weekend. So, just keep your eye on it. And then I'm out of town, so I'm here until next Thursday. But next Thursday, I'm heading to Peru for my Peru retreat. So during that time, I'll have subs for this class. I think I have Abby subbing. I want to say she's subbing Tuesdays and one Sunday, and then Victoria's subbing Thursdays. Yeah, I have it all updated on the Google Calendar though, so just FYI. But I'll be here until next Thursday, but I won't be here next Thursday. If that makes sense. Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns, announcements?
You are teaching your class?
No, so I'll be here until, I guess I should say, next Wednesday night will be my last class. I'll teach at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, and then this class next Thursday, Victoria will be teaching. Thank you for clarifying. I'll be gone until the 18th, so then I'll be back after that. And I'll get back, I'll just say this too, why not? I'll get back on the 18th. On the 20th, I have my embodiment class, which is yoga, breathwork, and sound. It's a 2-hour experience. It's a Saturday night, 7 to 9. And I also, on that same day in the afternoon, am offering, it's not really my thing, but I'm bringing this woman here from St. George, and we're doing a sacred shamanic medicine drum making ceremony. So if you've seen those big drums that like I use them in my breathwork ceremonies, or people use them in like ayahuasca ceremonies, stuff like that. That's what we'll be making. And she has like real, like you can choose your hide, deer hide, cow, buffalo, goat, all the hides. If you go to the link, like let me know if you want the link. I've posted it a few places, but if you go to her link, she basically has all the different prices for all the different sizes of drums and all the different hides. And depending on what you choose, that's how much the workshop costs, if that makes sense. So it's a 4-hour workshop. It takes some time. And it's on the 20th of January, if you're interested. Okay. Anything else? No. I was just saying technology right now, because Mercury retrograde is just throwing everything. All right, let's do the thing. So go ahead, comfortable seated position if you're not there already. And even if you are, you may want to take a moment to adjust or just stretch, move, get a little bit of physical feedback. So personally, I always like to move my body just a little bit before finding stillness. So you can kneel, you can sit up on top of a block or a bolster if you've got one. And just sit on your sit bones. So eventually, just rest your hands somewhere, some way, intentionally. And close your eyes or lower and soften your gaze. And as you really slow everything down, so I think it's impossible to become completely still. There's always something moving, even just our breath. But we're slowing down enough that we can notice more. So just start to really notice everything that is in this moment, here and now. So you might start with the sounds around you. You might start with just feeling into the stability, the support of the ground underneath you. So really obvious sensations or obvious just things that you can notice. And see if you can just start to let whatever you've got going on in your life outside this room, start to let that just kind of fall away. See if you can connect more, focus more on your inner space. So now start to feel into, are there any sensations inside of your body? Physical, energetic, emotional. Can you feel the rise and fall, the expansion and contraction of your breath? And you're not trying to do anything different. You're not trying to fix anything or change anything at all. You're simply just noticing what's already here. Next time you inhale, fill up as big as you can. And take a moment at the top of that breath, hold. See if there's even an extra little sip you can find at the top. And then great big sigh out your mouth, let it go. Ah. Very nice. Do that twice more. So inhale, fill up. Pause in fullness. And again, extra sip, maybe even 2 extra sips. Open your mouth, and when you're ready, sigh it out. Ah. One more like that. So biggest inhale you've taken all morning long. Hold in fullness. As you hold, see if you can relax and soften around your held breath, just a teeny tiny bit. On your own, whenever you're ready, just open your mouth, let it go. Ah. Seal your lips now and begin to cultivate what we call Ujjayi breath. So it's in and out through your nose by way of the back of your throat. The inhale is like you're taking a really, really deep, slow motion gas. The exhale is like you're fogging up a window, but your lips are sealed on top of the breath. So be right here for a moment and just connect to your own internal rhythm, your own internal pulse. You can stay here in your seated meditation for as long as you want. So if this is what you feel like doing for the entire class today, awesome, go for it. If you want to come back here at any point, just to recenter, connect back to your breath, please feel free. This is always available to you. If you're ready to begin moving, take your breath with you, Ujjayi, and come forward to hands and knees, tabletop. So from your tabletop, see if you can let your body move however it wants to move. So get curious. Maybe you take your hips all the way around in big circles. Maybe you let your hips come forward towards the ground and you just kind of move from side to side, almost like you've got a great big mermaid tail behind you. Maybe you want to get into your wrists or your forearms and you spin your fingers out to the sides or back towards your knees and just kind of rock it out. So as much as you are able to here, get out of your head, get out of your mind. So that part of you that's looking around and wants to see what everybody else is doing, that part of you that's like, am I doing this right? Do I look weird? That gets to go away and just use your felt senses. So if it helps, close your eyes and literally see if you can put your awareness in your spine. Feel the movement in your spinal column. Put your awareness in your shoulders or your hips or even your hands or just your fingers. You can get super creative. Maybe you want to crawl forward as if you're some sort of four-legged creature, crawl forward really gracefully, maybe like you're a cat, crawl all the way back. So there is no right or wrong. Give yourself about 3 to 5 more breaths, just exploring in your own way. And then eventually, downward facing dog is our destination. So you can start your own transition back in your own time and in your own way. Nice job, everybody. Once you're back in down dog, keep that exploration going. So just keep feeling around. Pedal out your heels, shift your weight from side to side. Maybe give your head a little shake or a little nod. So in your dog pose, especially this first one, don't worry about getting your legs straight. Don't worry about getting your heels to the ground. Sometimes I like to bend my knees a lot and come up to my tippy toes, and almost like I'm going to pounce forward. I press into the ground and lift my hips really, really high. So feel free to explore. Let go of how you think it's supposed to look and feel into what feels most supportive, most efficient in your body today. So how can you find more of a connection to your center? Use it to lift you out of your arms. How can you find more strength, more stability in your shoulder girdle? And how can you use your big, deep breaths to really hold and support you? You guys look so good. Nice poses. Take one more big inhalation into your down dog. And then as you exhale, gaze to the top of your space, and however you'd like to get there, forward fold. Once you've arrived, just hang out for a few breaths in your fold. So maybe your feet are nice and wide. Personally, I like my feet wide for my first fold. It just gives your hips and pelvis a little more room. So keep all of your toes facing forward. And maybe you want to bend your knees a lot. So again, the goal is not to get your legs straight. I would even encourage you to bring a little bend or a big bend into your knees and focus on lifting your sit bones as high as you can, keeping the weight forward, less in your heels, more in your toes and the balls of your feet. So if you focus on just lifting your butt, using the strength in your core, you'll feel that stretch down the backs of your legs. Breathe into it, soften around it, relax your neck, relax all the muscles in your face, and see if you can breathe even bigger. Feel your breath in your back body and down the backs of your legs. Nice, James. Next time you breathe in, halfway lift position. So spine parallel to the ground. Get all the rounding out of your back. Good. Exhale, bow and fold. Do that once more. Inhale to your halfway lift. So top of your head reaches forward, tops of thighs press back, sit bones broaden. Exhale, fold all the way to emptiness. Feel your navel to spine connection. And from that place, rise all the way up. So come through your halfway lift. Keep rising, reach up. Hands to heart, exhale. Ah, good job, friends. Flow with your breath for a moment. Inhale, high mountain, stretch tall. Slow dive, so hinge at your hips. Take it all the way down, slowly into your fold. Halfway lift with your inhale. How much length can you create? Nice, Laura. Exhale, let it go. And then from the press of your feet, lead with your heart. Come through your halfway lift and rise all the way up. Stretch tall. Hands to heart center. As you exhale, we'll take that one more time. Maybe try closing your eyes as you flow. Inhale, high mountain. Feel all that length. Exhale, dive down slowly, mindfully, beautiful. Halfway lift position, breathe in and lengthen. Exhale, release, fold, empty all the way out and bow deeply. From the press of your feet, rise back up. Inhale, take your arms up, stretch tall. Janet, exhale, hands to heart. All right, friends, inhale, take your arms up. And then this time as you exhale, bring your hands behind your back and interlace your fingers. So once you've got your fingers interlaced, everybody bend your elbows a lot and press your palms together like they're suction cupped. And then rather than rolling your shoulders forward like I'm doing right now, see if you can roll your shoulders back. So roll your shoulders back and down, and then start to draw circles with your hands as fast as you can, like you just threw your hands into the washing machine or into the dryer. And then circle the other way as fast as you can. You should feel some heat building in your shoulders. Circle, circle, circle. Maybe you make them bigger. 3, 2, 1. Reach your knuckles back. Stretch through the front of your shoulders. Maybe lift your heart up. Press your hips forward, but hug in with your inner thighs. Take one more big inhale here. Breathe into the front of your chest. Puff up. Keep your clasp. Exhale, hinge at your hips all the way down. Fold. Let your neck relax. Let your head be heavy. See if you can lift your sit bones a little bit higher. See if you can lift your knuckles a little bit higher, possibly even reach them forward. Yes, good job. Take one more big inhale and breathe into your shoulders. Exhale, hands to your low back. Release your clasp. Nice and easy. Let your arms hang. Give them a little shake out. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale. Plant your hands. Feet back. Plank position. Pause on your plank. Strong, or pause in your plank. Strong core. So navel to spine. One arm at a time. Come down to your forearms. Forearm plank. So slowly, strong belly, strong shoulders. Good. One arm at a time. Come back up to your hands. High plank. Strong core as you move. Once more down to your forearms. And this time we're going to hold forearm plank. So find the strength in your shoulders. Draw your belly button in and up. You can keep holding your forearm plank or forearm side plank. Roll onto the baby toe edge of right foot. Lift your left arm to the sky. So press down through the belly of your forearm to stay out of your shoulder so it's not collapsing. And then lift through your hips. See if you can feel your right side obliques fire up more. Maybe left arm reaches forward, lengthen through your left side. Good, Andrea. Maybe left leg floats up. Nice job, everybody. Where is your breath? Can you breathe bigger, more spacious? One more round. Slowly with control, come back to your forearm plank. And slowly with control, rise back up to your hands, high plank. Inhale at the top of your push-up. Push the ground away. Come to your knees if you want. Exhale, chaturanga all the way to your belly. Inhale, start in a baby cobra. So lift your heart using your back strength rather than your arm strength. Yes. Pay attention for a moment to your lower body. Press down through your shoelaces and see if you can spread your toes. Press down through your toenails. Press down through your pelvis. And then draw your belly button in and up away from the ground and feel the support that offers your low back. Now see if you can keep all of that. So do not let your legs lift. Float your hands up and reach your hands back. So you're just using back strength. You're not using your glute strength. Keep pressing down through the tops of your feet. Keep pressing down through your toenails. Option, this always helps me, bend your elbows and try to squeeze your elbows towards each other behind your back. See if you can lift higher. Feel your mid-back muscles fire. Yes, one more inhale, lift, lift, lift. Awesome, Cam, nice, Callie. Exhale, release, and lower. Good job. Take a moment to rest here. Breathe into your low back. Maybe kind of rock your hips side to side. And then if you'd like, give yourself one more heart opener, one more back bend of your choice. Eventually, downward facing dog, no rush. Ujjayi breath. Bring it back if you've lost it. All right, my friends, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg to the sky. And then everybody, go ahead and peel your right hip open. So bend your knee, reach it out and up. Feel the opening in the front of your right hip. Good. Keep hugging in with your left inner thigh. Take one more inhale. See if you can lift your right knee a little bit higher. And then exhale, right knee, left elbow, or as close as you can come. Push the ground away as you come forward. Yes, inhale, back up, three-legged dog. Option to open your hips, scorpion your right leg. Exhale, right to right, aim high, aim for your armpit. You can even bend your elbows out a little push-up if you want to. Don't let your butt drop. Inhale, back up. Nice, Liz, all the way up. Open your hip if you want. And then last one, exhale, knee to your nose. Scoop out your belly, round your spine. Then softly step forward, low lunge. Rise up to crescent in your own time. Good, so strong legs. Energetically hug in. So rather than sinking in, you're energetically pulling front hip back, back hip forward. So the femur bones are plugging into the hip sockets. Your legs are your strong foundation. A little tone in your belly, navel to spine, and feel the length and the support that offers your low back. Nice job, everybody. Take one more inhale, lift your heart, maybe lift your gaze. And then listen, as you exhale, bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, or if you want to modify, you can grab opposite elbows. Roll your shoulders back and down, shoulder blades hug your spine. See if you can start to reach your hands back. Option to bend your back knee to a hover and lift your heart. Puff up your chest. Keep your hips square, legs strong, and keep breathing. One more round. Inhale, come back to crescent. So release your clasp, reach up, and exhale, bring your hands to the earth. Root into your front foot, standing splits, left leg floats high. So lift your left leg as high as it will go. You can choose to keep your hips square or open them up. It's not right or wrong, it's just a different way to be in the pose. If you want to play or explore in any way, go for it. So maybe right arm wraps behind right leg. Maybe you want to hop, couple handstand hops. Shiva squats. Up to you, wherever you are at, make sure your breath is right there with you. Feel whatever there is to feel, even if it's uncomfortable. See if you can be with that, soften around that. One more inhale, everybody. Lift a little higher, lengthen a little more. So nice. Exhale, forward fold, top of your space. Set your left foot down. Then give your right leg a nice little shake out if you want to. Pedal it out. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, bow and fold. Root through your feet, rise all the way up, big stretch at the top. And hands to heart as you exhale. All right, inhale, take your arms up. And as you exhale, bring your arms to a cactus position, and that's it. So cactus your arms. We're gonna start here. We're going to move into a back bend, but slowly. So imagine that you're hugging a block with your inner thighs. Squeeze in, and then start to press your hips forward. Now, start to press your arms back and your chest forward. Bottom tips of shoulder blades, squeeze towards your spine. See if you can work your back bend a little bit more so you're curling open. Keep hugging in with your inner thighs. Imagine you're trying to press your elbows forward and up. Breathe down into your belly, soften your face. Yes, one more round. Lift your heart. Inhale, back to center, realign, reach up and stretch. And then slow dive all the way down. Traction it out as you dive. Lift halfway, inhale, realign. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back, plank. And then pause in your plank. One arm at a time, lower down, forearm plank. Strong core as you lower, strong shoulders. One arm at a time, come back up, high plank. Yes, you got it. Soften your face. Now come back down to forearm plank and hold. So find the strength in your shoulders, find the strength in your core, navel to spine. You can stay right here if you want to. Otherwise, Moving into forearm side plank. Left forearm is your base. Roll onto the baby toe edge of left foot. Yeah. Right arm to the sky. Or perhaps you want to reach your right arm forward towards me and lengthen your right side. Lift your hips even higher. Nice, David. Maybe right leg floats up. Good, you guys. Press down through the belly of your left forearm. One more round, fullest expression. You are so strong. End of your exhale, plank, or excuse me, forearm plank. Back to high plank. So one more time. I know you guys hate me. Lift up to your hands. Strong high plank. Inhale at the top. Come to your knees if you want to modify. Slowly lower to your belly all the way down. One strong straight line. Nice, Charles. Just like we did before, start in baby cobra. And just like we did before, feel into it. Find the awareness in your lower body. Shoulders roll back and down, and your hands, rather than pushing down, it's like they're dragging your body forward, so they're pulling back. Feel that? Now, if you would like, go ahead once again and lift your hands, reach them back. This time, lift your feet and reach your toes back, but don't let your legs widen. So hug in with your inner thighs, and imagine you're trying to rotate your inner thighs in and up towards the ceiling. Yeah, maybe bend your elbows. So palms face each other or palms face down, bend your elbows and squeeze them towards each other like they're magnetized. See if you can feel your mid-back muscles fire. Take one more round of breath. So opposite shoulders. Your shoulders are going forward. You want to go back. And let it go, lower down. I'm gonna have you guys come up to a seated position for a moment. I'm gonna demonstrate something. So just sit in any way that's comfortable for you. I want to show you mid-back strengths. Those of you who have been in my class for a long time, you know exactly what's going to happen right now. So you hear me saying, bend your elbows, squeeze them together. I see a lot of you doing this, and this is the opposite of what we want to be doing. We want shoulders back and down, elbows bend, squeeze in. So watch this. This is what it looks like when I'm not using my mid-back. This is what it looks like when I start to use my mid-back muscles. All of a sudden, I can lift so much higher. So here, or here, here. So then you're ready for this. So how you get it? Squeezing in. You feel these muscles fire up. These muscles, for whatever reason, none of us really know how to use them. So shoulders back and down, elbows in. It's like you're doing this, and then squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lift, lift, lift. Yes? Should we try it one more time? Come back to your belly. And let's just go from our belly. So rest your forehead down, arms by your sides. And then lift your shoulders first. So feel your shoulders lift and roll back and down. Then when you're ready, lift everything up. Lift your chest, lift your legs. Yeah, bend your elbows, squeeze them towards each other. Yes, that's it, Liz. Good. Yes, yes, yes. Looks so much better. Amazing. Take one more round. Nice, Tabitha. And let it go. That looks completely different. Really nice. Breathe down into your low back and kind of rock your shins or even windshield wiper, or excuse me, rock your hips. Windshield wiper shins. And then in your next couple breaths or so, however you want to get there, down dog. Just feel whatever there is to feel. Maybe you've got a little bit of new awareness in your back body now. All right, slow, spacious breath. Next inhale, take your left leg to the sky. And then try not to move through your hands or your shoulders. Bend your left knee and peel your left hip open. So it's like your left hip is a hinge on a door. Your left leg is the door. It just swings open. Yeah, good. So strength in your left leg, activation through your left foot. Take one more in-breath, press down into both hands, lift from your center. Exhale, left knee to right elbow, as close as you can come. Nice work. Inhale back up. Option to open your hips, scorpion your leg. Left to left. So aim for armpit. Add the push-up if you want. Don't let your butt drop down. Inhale back up. So nice, you guys. Last one. With your exhale, knee to your nose, scoop out your belly, lift your waistline super high and step forward softly. Nice, Cam. Rise up, crescent lunge. So strong legs. Nice, Hugh. So inner thighs hug in, front hip energetically pulls back, back hip forward. Yes, and then feel your pose in your upper body, your expression of this pose. Maybe spread your fingers wide. Maybe soften your fingers. So what do you want to embody here? Feel into it, breathe into it. Take one more big inhale. So nice, you guys. As you exhale, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. This time, just for fun, switch them to one finger over. So it's going to feel a little bit weird. Roll your shoulders back and down, shoulder blades squeeze your spine, reach your hands back. And then option only if you want to bend your back knee to a hover and start to work a back bend. See if you can feel it coming from mid and upper back rather than low back. So it's different than just leaning back and collapsing into your low back. Good job. One more round. Breathe all the way down into your belly. Puff up through your heart space. Nice, Liz. Back to crescent. So slowly come back. Arms reach up. Exhale, hands to the earth. Root into your left foot and float your right leg to the sky. So right leg lifts and right foot is active. See if you can get your toes to spread. If they won't spread, maybe you point them. So just do something to make your right foot active and strong. If you want to explore, if you want to play, feel free. Wherever you're at, your breath is right there with you. So your breath, it's one of the greatest tools you have. Use it. It's not working against you. It's supporting you if you let it. Take one more inhale. Right leg lifts, lengthens. Yes. And then forward fold. Step down softly. Give your left leg a nice little shake out. Maybe pedal out your heels. Yeah. Halfway lift next time you breathe in. Exhale, bow, fold, let it go. Root through your feet and rise all the way up. Arms reach up, stretch. Hands to heart, exhale. All right. From standing, just bring your hands to your hips first and step your left foot back about a foot or two, setting up a pyramid stance. So I personally like my feet on 2 train tracks with all of my toes facing directly forward. Traditionally, it's feet on a balance beam with your back foot at about a 30-degree angle. For me, that makes it a lot harder to square off my hips. So feel what works best for you and work your hips towards square. Right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward. And then take your arms to the sky. Big inhale here. As you exhale, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, or if you'd rather, you can grab opposite elbows, or if it's available to you, you can even take reverse namaste, reverse prayer. So you choose. Everybody, take an inhale and lift your heart, lift your gaze. Pull your right hip back and heart leads. Exhale, slowly dive down into a fold. So forehead toward shin, nose toward knee, and then navel toward spine at the bottom of each exhalation. So use your exhale to dive deeper and fold further. Yes. Thanks, Ellie. Pull your right butt cheek up, 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 and back, back, back. So like there is somebody that has their hand in that little crease of your right hip, and they're literally pulling back. Use your breath. Take about 2 or 3 more. For me, I usually start to shake. My front leg shakes. It's called a sacred tremble. It's not a bad thing. It means you've met an edge. So be with it. If the arms are not working, you want to let them go at any time, that's fine. Just a couple more. You got this. End of your next exhale, my friends. If you've still got your clasp, bring your hands to your low back, then release your clasp. Bend your front knee as much as you need to bring your fingertips or hands to the ground. And then start to crawl your hands forward and float your back leg off the ground. Move into a half moon. So lengthen your spine. Right hand stays down. Left arm might reach up, or maybe it comes to your left hip to begin. So peel your hips open. Let them open. Yes. Good. Active and strong through your left leg, your back leg. It's like you're stomping it on an invisible wall. Hips open, heart open, shoulders open. Feel all that space. Nice, Charles. One more round. And then see if you can land in a warrior two. So bend your front knee and step back. Rise up. You can take a moment to adjust. Yeah, right toes forward, left toes to the left. And then really wrap your front butt cheek underneath your body so that your front knee tracks towards your pinky toe. Good. Notice if when you did that, your back hip, your left hip just came forward. Pull it back. So pull your left hip back a little, Liz. Yeah. Take one more breath in your warrior two. So pull this back in. Yeah. And then reverse your warrior. Reach up, reach back, and lengthen your right side. So length through your right side body, through your right waistline. Breathe into it. Keep that deep bend in your right knee. So deep bend, and then imagine you're trying to lift your right rib cage away from your hip. Nice, Cam. Take one or two more rounds in your reverse warrior. Come back, warrior two. Straighten your front leg, parallel your feet. So all of your toes now face the wall, face the windows. Arms to the sky, inhale here. And then exhale all the way down, dive down, fold. Anywhere you want to go for about 5 rounds. Big deep breaths, open mouth exhales, always welcome. In these moments, I know this is when it's tempting to go off somewhere else in your mind, to go to the grocery store, to go to what you're doing later today, who you're meeting up with tonight. See if you can stay here, stay in your body, stay with your breath, stay with sensation. Just feel whatever there is to feel. Notice whatever there is to notice. One more round. Bring your fingertips to the ground if they're not there already. And then start to crawl your hands to the top of your space and rotate your toes forward so you'll come back into a low lunge. From your low lunge, 3-legged down dog. Take your right leg back and up. So open up your right hip again. Bend your knee, open it up. Great place to stay or option to flip your dog. Right foot comes down behind you. Right arm forward and heart forward. Lift your hips. Imagine your heart trying to look at this front wall. See if you can let it. Back muscles strong. One more deep breath. Good. Nice, Callie. Come back. Regular down dog, everybody. And just walk it out. Feel whatever there is to feel. Right side versus left side. Ujjayi breath. One more inhale. Exhale, look to the top of your space. Step, tiptoe, or hop forward, fold. Halfway lift. Breathe in and lengthen. Exhale, let it go. Press into your feet and rise all the way up. Arms reach up, stretch. Hands to heart, exhale. All right, from standing, just bring your hands to your own hips and then step your right foot back about a foot or two. So it depends how long your legs are, but you want both feet flat on the ground. Again, feet can be on 2 train tracks, all 10 toes face forward, or on a balance beam with your back foot at a slight angle. So choose which one feels better in your own body. Left hip pulls back, right hip draws forward, arms reach up. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, bring your hands behind you and choose. Interlace, grab opposite elbows, reverse namaste. If you're interlacing, maybe you try switching to one finger over again. Shoulders back and down. Heart lifts, gaze up, breathe in. Keep pulling your left hip back and then reach your heart forward, slow dive. So left butt cheek pulls back, back, back as your heart reaches forward and then bow. So eventually it's forehead towards shin, nose toward knee, and then bottom of each exhale, navel towards spine, and that's how you're going to go a little bit deeper. If you want to let go of the arms at any time, totally fine. So left butt cheek is pulling up and back. Imagine a rope attached to your left butt cheek, pulling it up and back. Stay rooted firmly through the inner and outer edge of your front foot. Yeah, you might even try picking up your front toes and spreading them. Take about 2 more rounds. Use your exhale to find more space or to move into that space. So nice, you guys. Good work. Bottom of your next exhale, if you still got your clasp, bring your hands to low back. And then everybody, let your fingertips come to the ground, your hands to the ground. Bend your front knee as much as you need to. Start to crawl your hands forward. Maybe you want to take blocks with you. Float your back leg up, moving into half moon. So spine gets long. And then eventually right arm might reach up or right hand to right hip as you peel your hips open. Back leg, nice Bailey. Back leg so strong and powerful. So it's like you're karate kicking with your back leg and it got frozen in space. See if you can let your heart open more, your hips open more. So really squeeze through your outer left glute. It's called your medial glute, and that'll allow your hips to open. Take 1 or 2 more great big huge breaths, and then slowly and mindfully see if you can land in a warrior 2 stance. Good. If you start to see stars, it sometimes helps if you just pat your head. It's grounding. All right, so settling in to warrior 2. Take a moment to adjust your legs if you need to. Let your hips open. So hips opening rather than your back hip coming forward like you want it to square, pull it back. So pelvis neutral while your hips open up. Next time you breathe in, reverse your warrior. Front palm rotates up, reach up, lengthen through your left side. Deep bend in your left knee. Lift your left ribs away from your left hip. And keep that little tone in your belly. So pull this back. Yeah, that's it. Much better. All right, one last big inhale. See if there's any more length you can find. And then come back to your warrior 2. Straighten your front leg. Parallel your feet. So all of your toes face the right side of your yoga mat. Arms to the sky. Inhale. And then whenever you're ready, just take it all the way down and fold. Big, deep breath. Ah. About 5 rounds, anywhere you want to go. And again, I know it's tempting to go somewhere else in your mind. Our minds want something more interesting to focus on. Let's see if you can remind your mind at this moment right here, it's interesting enough if you just pay attention. Feel your body, feel your breath. There's so much to notice. Last couple rounds, if you're working somewhere, start to slowly find your way back. And fingertips to the ground if they're not there already. Start to crawl your hands to the top of your space and rotate your toes to face forward. So you're back in a low lunge position. From low lunge, 3-legged down dog. Take your left leg back and up. Open up your left hip. Stay right here or flip your dog. Left foot comes down behind. Yes, lift your hips, lift your heart. Your heart wants to look at this front wall. See if you can let it. Good Lord. Beautiful. Breathe down into your belly. So nice. Awesome, Janet. Come back. Regular down dog. Everybody just walk it out. Inhale into your dog pose. Push the ground away. Exhale, gaze forward, step or hop, top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow, let it go. Root through your feet, rise all the way up. Big stretch at the top. Hands to heart, exhale. All right, for a moment, let's flow. Inhale, reach up. Listen here. Exhale, side body stretch of your choice to your right. Hips go left, all the way to empty. Inhale through center. Other side, up and over. Exhale. Make it your own. Back to the center as you breathe in. Baby back bend. Cactus your arms. See if you can feel it in your mid and your upper back. Hug in with your inner thighs as you press your hips forward. Inhale, re-extend, realign. And then slow dive all the way down. Fold. Good job. Good breathing. Lift halfway. Inhale. Exhale. Plant your hands. Feet back to plank. And this time, just one big inhale at the top of your push-up. Come to your knees if you want. All the way down to your belly as you exhale. Strong straight line. Just like we've been doing, start with baby cobra. So use your back strength to lift. And then float your hands up, reach your hands back. Float your feet up, reach your toes back. Locust pose. You've been here before. You can stay here. Or options are interlace your fingers or bend your knees, reach back, grab hold of feet or ankles. And use that as leverage to see if you can lift a little higher. So kick feet into hands, pull hands back into feet, but hug in with your inner thighs. So try not to let your knees go out to the sides. Hug them in and lift using your mid-back strength and mobility. You got this. Breathe down into your belly. Awesome, Bailey. One more round. So good. Let it go. Rest down. So you can rest your head to either side. And again, it might feel nice to shimmy your hips a little, windshield wiper your shins a little. And then just come up to a tabletop position, hands and knees. And we'll thread the needle. So make sure your knees are at least hips width distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. We'll start with right arm. So right arm out to the right and all the way up. And then as you exhale, thread your right arm underneath. Come to rest on the outside of your shoulder, outside of your head gently. Big deep breaths into your back body especially. So all that strength work you've been doing in your back. Now stretch those muscles, breathe into those spaces. If there's any way you want to explore, feel free. So if you want to extend your left leg out to the left, if you want to wrap your left arm behind you, go for it. Good job, everyone. All right, if you happen to have your left hand or your left knee lifted, bring them back to the earth. And then on an inhalation, unthread your right arm, reach it all the way up one more time, open up. Exhale, set your right hand down. And before we take the other side, just for a moment, back to down dog and just stretch, just lengthen, just pedal out your heels. Shift your weight from side to side. Nice job, friends. Go ahead and bring your knees back down gently. We'll thread the needle on the other side. So nice and wide with your knees. On an inhale, left arm out and up. And as you exhale, just thread it through. Really stretch through your back muscles. Breathe into your back body. Any variation you want to take. Soften your face, unclench your jaw. If you happen to have right hand or right knee lifted, bring them back to the earth slowly. And then on an inhalation, unthread your left arm, reach it out and up, open up, reach, reach, reach. And go ahead, come back down, left hand to the ground. And take it back one more time, downward facing dog. Walk it out in your dog pose for just a moment. Yeah, and if you feel like you want to move through a quick vinyasa, that would kind of help you reset, feel free. Take one last inhale into your down dog, listen, and then exhale, gently set your knees down again. This time, we're moving towards camel pose. So you're gonna come up to stand on your knees, like so. If you want to, you can just watch first and then we'll do it together. If you need extra cushion, good option is to fold over the front edge of your mat and then put your knees on that extra cushion. Make sure your knees are hips width distance apart. They're not together and they're not too far apart. So hips width distance. And then if you want to, you can always bring a block like Liz is doing in between your inner thighs. So toes tucked under is what I prefer. If you don't tuck your toes under, this is what tends to happen with your ankles. So then if you want to do this, just make sure you're pressing down through your shoelaces and through your toenails, stabilizing. So from here, we're going to start with our hands on our low back, and our elbows like we did with this, our elbows pointing back. You can make fists, you can point your fingers down, you can wrap your fingers around your waist, but you just want your elbows going back, your shoulders rolling back and down. Hug in with your inner thighs and start to press your hips forward and then press your hips back into your hands. You can do this with me or we'll do it together in a minute. So if you want to do it twice, you can do it with me. So hands into hips, hips back into hands, and then start to work it from mid to upper back. So I'm continuing to press my hips into my hands, hugging in with my inner thighs. Maybe I reach one hand back. Maybe I reach both hands back. When I come out of this, I'm going to come up with my heart first, not my head. So to lead with my heart looks like this. Heart, and then head. So if I were to lead with my head, looks like this. See if you can come up with heart first, yes? Okay. So if you want to do it for your first time or your second time now, go ahead and stand on your knees, hips width distance apart. Hug in with your inner thighs. So feel that. And then hands behind your back, like you're about to put them in your back pockets or whatever variation you want to take with your fingers. Point your elbow tips back. And then start to work it, curling open. It's coming from mid and upper back more than low back. Curl open, hug in with your inner thighs. Maybe one hand reaches back to grab your heel. Maybe both hands reach back. Remember, you're not just leaning back, you're puffing up your heart. Yeah, good. Shoulders open. See if you can take 2 more deep breaths down into your belly. Hug in with your inner thighs to protect your low back. Good, good, good. Now, when you come out, hands back to your low back for support and see if you can lead with your heart to lift back up. So head comes up last. Nice, you guys. And then to neutralize, you can unfold your mat if it's folded. We're just going to take a puppy pose. So hips over your knees. Nice neutral spine for a moment. Take a couple breaths in puppy. And then after a couple breaths in puppy, sit all the way back into a child's pose. And that should feel really good. Spinal flexion now. Breathe into your back body. Nice job, everybody. Feel whatever there is to feel. Just flowing through your inner space. Maybe give yourself a couple more grounding breaths. And then downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale your right leg to the sky. And then pigeon pose, right shin to the top of your space. And gently set your body down. If you know that this pose works better for you in a seat or on your back, please feel free to take it there instead. Otherwise, regular pigeon. Try as best you can. So those of you who have the ability to set your right butt cheek on the ground, try not to do that. So for me, if you watch me, this is me just plopping into pigeon. Plop, plop. I could stay here all day. What I want to do, I want to pull my right hip back. Same thing I do in crescent lunge and pyramid pose. Right butt cheek is hovering. It keeps pulling back like there's a rope pulling on it as I take my heart forward. So I'm not just flopping into it. You want to keep that structure, what's called the integrity of the pose, and then soften around it. I'm going to come around, friends, with a little spritzy of essential oils. If you don't want it on you, just give me a little raise of your hand. Okay, thank you. So just focus on your big, deep breaths. Soften with your exhales. So we hold these poses for a while, not so that we can get tighter and more contracted, but so we can relax more and soften more. So even if it's intense, if it's uncomfortable, you're using your big, deep breaths to tell your body, it's okay, I got you. I know you're uncomfortable, but you're safe. You can relax, you can soften. So each exhale, see if there is something somewhere inside that you can soften or surrender. Let go. Might just be energetic. Think about 3 or 4 more rounds. Ah. Good job, everyone. One last big deep breath. Ah. And then slowly, we're going to meet in a 3-legged tabletop. So you'll rise up, plant your hands, and kind of scoot your back knee forward. Your hips will lift, and then you can unthread your right leg. Take your right leg back and just gently shake it out. After you give it a few shakes, bend your knee, and imagine you're squeezing an invisible rolled up washcloth behind your right knee. Flex your toes. Keep all of that and start to circle your knee around. Biggest, fullest circles you can make with your right knee, and every other part of your body stays still. Reverse your circles. So fullest range of motion you can find through your right hip joints. Every other part of your body is stable. Good job. Finally, extend your right leg straight back and take your right toes off the left edge of your mat. Pull your hips a little bit over to the right as you gaze back over your left shoulder. So look back at your tiptoes. Try not to look back with just your head and your eyes, but with your entire right side. So you might kind of lean over to the right. You might rock forward. You might round or arch. Take one more deep breath. Ah, yeah, good. Back to tabletop. And back to downward facing dog. Ujjayi breaths. Walk it out. If you want to move through a vinyasa on your own, you're welcome to. Otherwise, take just a moment. Feel whatever there is to feel. All right, left leg to the sky. Inhale. And as you're ready, pigeon pose, left shin forward, gently set your body down. So same thing, try not to sink into your hips. So even if, or especially if I should say, you can let your left butt cheek just collapse down. Try not to. So it should be hovering above the ground. Then work your fold. So what we're doing, we're trying to work stability and mobility at the same time, which is the most sustainable way, most functional way to stretch our muscles. So whenever we're just, what's happening when your left butt cheek is just plopped down on the ground, you're just sitting in your joints. So a lot of us have hypermobility in our joints. And we want to learn in yoga, rather than exploiting that, which a lot of people do because it looks like you're more flexible. But you want to learn how to stabilize. You want to learn how to build the strength around your joints. I like to remind people that we're human, and humans are supposed to change slowly over time. We're not supposed to change all at once by forcing something. So same thing in our practice. Slowly over time, we start to notice changes in our body. We can't force anything to happen overnight. And if we try, usually that's when we end up getting hurt or something like that. So be with yourself where you're at, meet yourself there. And then every time you show up to your practice, just notice, is anything a little different today? Maybe, maybe not. No judgment, just observation. I think that's what makes this practice so interesting. Even after you've practiced for 10, 20 years, you still have those little aha moments where you're like, whoa, I've never felt that muscle engaged before. Whoa, I've never felt my hips come into alignment in this pose before. So that's the practice, continually showing up and just tuning in. Not expecting anything. We're not trying to arrive anywhere. We're just meeting ourselves where we're at and being with ourselves intimately in our bodies. Noticing, observing, allowing, holding space for what's inside of us. Take about 4 more rounds. Open mouth sighs, welcome at any time. Wow. Maybe you can soften through your forehead or your jaw a little more. Maybe even imagine, what would it be like to soften through your heart space? Last couple of breaths. And then in your own time, start to transition into your 3-legged tabletop again. So plant your hands, scoot your back knee forward, and then just take your left leg back. Give it that nice little shake out. Shake, shake, shake. And after a few shakes, bend your knee, hold your invisible rolled up washcloth behind your knee and try to squeeze it, wring it out. Flex your toes and circle your knee through space. Like you're drawing big dinner plate size circles. Yeah. Fullest range of motion you can find, and everything else is still stable, strong. Other direction. Yeah. Feel that mobility in your hip. If it feels like it gets stuck anywhere, get curious about that. Eventually, left leg goes straight back. Stretch it out long. And then left toes off the right edge of your mat. Pull your hips over to the left, gaze back over your right shoulder. Yeah. So try not to look back with just your eyeballs. Look back with your entire left side. Feel into it. Lean into it. Rock forward, back, arch. Sometimes I like to peekaboo under my right armpit. One last breath. Come back to tabletop. And I'm going to leave it up to you. You can either just sit back into a child's pose and rest, or you can take down dog, or you can move through one last vinyasa into down dog or child's pose. So wherever you'd like to end up. Wherever you've ended up. A couple more rounds just to feel whatever's there. Acknowledge yourself for all the hard work you've done, all the hard work your body's done. However you'd like to get there. Now everybody start to find your way onto your back. You can face either direction. Just lower down, nice and easy. Once you are on your back, draw your knees towards your belly and find a little rock from side to side. And after a few rocks, just let your knees either fall over to one side or any other variation of a supine spinal twist that you'd like to take. You can go either direction first. Just be aware of the space around you. Give yourself about 5 rounds on each side. 5 big, deep Buddha belly breaths on each side. Really let yourself give in now, give into gravity. Let the ground hold and support you and feel the way it holds and supports you. It's always there. If you haven't switched sides in your next breath or two, probably switch to the other side. And when you feel pretty even on both sides, no rush. Go back to center and choose any inversion that you would like to take for about 10 to 15 breaths. I'm going to give you guys an option if you're interested in a little bit more mid-back mobility and strength work. If you're like, no, thank you, then just do your own thing, totally fine. So come into a bridge pose if you want to work with your mid-back stuff. So just a regular bridge pose. I think everyone in this class knows bridge pose. So make sure in your bridge pose, all of your toes are facing forward, feet are about hips width distance apart. And then bring your arms into what I call robot arms. So bend your elbows, palms face each other, fingertips face the sky, and get your elbows as close to your sides as you can. So if you can imagine yourself standing up, remember how we wanted our elbows to point back behind us? Same thing we're doing right here. Inhale, lift your hips up, hug in with your inner thighs. And as you exhale, lower just your butt down. So you're creating a big tunnel under the middle of your back. Inhale, lift just your butt back up. And do that a few times with your breath. You're pressing down into the backs of your arms, backs of your elbows, back of your head. And as you lower, every time you lower your butt, see if you can make that tunnel bigger. So it's like if I had a rolled up yoga mat and I wanted to slide it horizontally under the middle of your spine, you're trying to create space for that as you lower your butt down. If you're like, whoa, I've never felt these muscles engaged before, then that's a good thing. Tomorrow your back might feel like something happened to it. Hopefully a good kind of sore. All right, friends. So if you are taking those lifts and lowers, maybe a couple more, but just in your next few rounds, whatever inversion you've chosen to be in, or if you were taking those bridge poses, just slowly, your next few breaths, find your way out. No rush. And take any, once you're back to ground, take any neutralizing poses you want to. Maybe a happy baby pose, maybe a big squeeze of your knees in. So give yourself another 10 breaths, let's say, to finish off your own practice. So anything else your body is calling for, maybe that's just going straight into your Shavasana. So my thought for you today, it's simple. Just to fall in love with taking care of yourself. Fall in love with the path of deep healing. Fall in love with becoming the best version of yourself, but with patience, with compassion, and with respect to your own journey. Fall in love with taking care of yourself. Fall in love with the path of deep healing. Fall in love with becoming the best version of yourself, but with patience, with compassion, and with respect to your own journey. So as you're ready, friends, you might even give yourself one great, big, huge falling out breath to just drop in. But eventually, just let your body relax fully. Let your muscles soften. Let go of any efforting. Close your eyes. And as I play my bowls for Shavasana, as much as you are able to, I know it's intense at times. If you need to plug your ears, you can. If you need to sneak out, you can. But as much as you are able to, if possible, listen with your body rather than with your head and your ears and your mind. Just let the vibrations move through you. Stir up anything that needs to be stirred up. And if it feels like too much at any time, these big, spacious breaths. Use your exhales to soften. Shavasana. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. I'm going to start to gently bring movement back into your physical body. Wiggle your fingers, toes. As you're ready, just roll to either side. Fetal position. And give yourself a moment to just curl into yourself there in nurturing position. As you curl into yourself, really let your practice settle in, seep in, soak in, let anything that came through for you absorb into your body, your being. Maybe visualize it using your imagination in some way. Use the strength in your arms to guide yourself up into a seat facing forward. So right back where we started our practice. And as you come into your seat, you might notice if anything has shifted for you since you sat here at the beginning, physically, energetically, emotionally, even just a tiny bit. Close your eyes and gather your hands to your own heart. And we'll seal this practice. We'll close with one big, huge collective Om. So Om is your own vibration. Don't worry how you sound, but just focus on how your voice, how your own vibration feels as it moves through your body and comes out your mouth. So it's your expression. Start by exhaling, emptying out, clear your throat if you need to. Breathe in your voice and open your mouth big and wide. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here, letting me guide you. Namaste. All right, friend. Good work. Ooh. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Take a sticker on your way out if you don't already have one. It's my new little company thing that I'm trying to start, like a breath and body school, doing training and stuff. Good girl, honey. Good girl. You look so good. I know. Like it's part, I'm like it's part of it.